What's up, guys? Coach Steven, welcome back to another episode of RC Fit, and with me, as always, the Mullet Man, Coach Casey. How you doing this evening,
Woo,
sir?
we're doing great, Steve. I mean, we have a show today for our friends, the gym friends, the gym community. Dude, what do we have going on?
Well, tonight's guest is another fellow coach. She goes
Yes.
by the name of DB. Well, I guess I'm the only one who calls her DB,
You may
but
be the only one.
Coach Alexa, I call her DB because she's a Detective Beatty. Anyway, Coach Alexa will be joining us later on the show. But before we even get into that, I want to kind of cover up the previous weeks because we've been kind of gone. It's been 2 weeks since we put out a show. So, Casey, if you can you catch us up, or maybe talk about some of your favorite workouts that you saw in the past 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, everybody, let's get after this. Everyone, I want you to subscribe if you're here for the first time, right? Give us a like, share us with your friends, give us that 5-star rating because we love you when you do. We see last week was the beginning of the week was about what, January 11th, 12th, something like that. This week we see January 19th on the calendar. We're deep in this programming cycle now that we started around the new year. We're seeing a dumbbell once a week. We're seeing a longer duration workout, right? How have you been liking the dumbbells a little bit, Steven? Are you enjoying the dumbbells?
I'm a fan of the dumbbells because I feel like it's just you can go more range of motion. I feel like with dumbbells,
Right. It puts
and
your the what this week we had kind of like the clean and press, right? The deadlift and then the clean and
yeah, it
press.
was like a half man makers, if you
Yeah, it's
will.
like a half man maker type thing. And right, I do enjoy that, right? Because if you have shoulder pain with a
Oh,
barbell, right, out in front of you trying to press, this dumbbell allows you to kind of turn that hand whatever way you need to make your shoulder feel pretty good, right? And it's allowing the community to kind of see and look and feel different types of workouts to get the same stimulus you do with a barbell, but you can with a dumbbell.
yeah,
So,
it's kind of like a scale. Like if people are kind of like
mhm,
scared of the barbell, a scale
exactly.
down would be the dumbbell. So yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, like great modifications and then dumbbells. We have all, different kinds of weights, right? We don't have to throw around the 50 pound. We don't have to throw around the 75 pound or 70 pound. You don't have to do man maker with 70-pound dumbbell. It'd be kind of, good on you if you do. But,
in
30,
fact, I think I
35 pound.
saw people do that during COVID. Was there like a challenge going on or
Dude,
something?
yeah. Yeah. I think there
Anyway,
was a COVID with that. That's maybe we'll talk about that later, but that's insane. But yeah, let's see. Last week, my favorite workout was actually one I was able to do with you, and it was a 30-minute EMOM. So every minute on the minute, we
okay.
did the rowing, and then we did burpee box jumps. I believe both you and I did step ups because our knees were not feeling good, and then jump rope, and then we rowed again, and then we did 2 squats with a pull up, and then we
Oh
did
yeah,
more
yeah,
jump
that
rope.
workout. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I remember that workout. I was like,
Yeah,
wait, what workout? Yeah,
30
okay.
minutes long, 6 movements, math, 5 rounds.
Yeah,
So
that was a fun workout.
I enjoyed that workout. It was awesome. I have pulled up right now looking at the whiteboard, Andy at the top.
NBD.
But NBT, like a lot of people scoring. It was hard to score that workout, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm looking at Mike. He said 0 reps. He didn't get 0 reps. He said, I don't know, not quite all the reps. Mike's on it. There it is. But it was great to see, Carl showed up. Man, there it is.
Ah,
So
Carl. Love Carl.
love Carl, right?
Yeah.
So awesome to see the community getting involved and being there on these more challenging days. I think, coming in and seeing that daunting number of 30 minutes, it's half the class.
Yeah.
Especially like in my class, I don't really get the class going until like 5 minutes after. I allow people to kind of come in. 6 p.m. is hard. People are coming off of work. So,
It's true.
but really, I don't. And then I have the luxury of, rolling past the 7 o'clock hour if I need to, because there's no
Yeah.
classes
There's no
behind
class
me.
after. Yeah.
So that's a bonus for me as a PM coach. But for athletes to come in and be kind of daunted by the half hour, it was fun to see people get in there, log their scores in the whiteboard, and really allow, everyone to see all the work we're putting in. So, do you have a favorite workout, sir? Over the last couple of weeks, what were you
Yeah.
feeling?
I do actually have
Feeling?
a workout that I would like to highlight. First, I want to shout out to all of the members who lifted some big weights last week and this week. I believe we did deadlifts last week.
Yeah.
Saw some big numbers there. And then yesterday we did the pause squats, right? The 3 reps, pause 3 seconds at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
And
then like a minute.
a minute of max reps.
Squats. Ugh.
I had the luxury of actually counting like the 3 seconds for Lando Commando is what I call him. He was doing 315, bro.
Just
I wish I could just
move
move 315, pause for 3 seconds, and just move it as quickly as he can. That's pretty remarkable for a guy who's like, I mean, he's a shorter guy. He's pretty stocky, but like he can move some weight. But the workout that I would like to highlight is 1 power snatch, 6 strict pull-ups, and 12 over-unders. Now, here's the reason why I really like this workout. Power snatches. I feel like we haven't snatched in a long time. I know we snatched last week, but I wasn't able to work out. So it was fun to snatch. I did this workout with Mike. We did it around like 2:00, just because we had some stuff going on. So it was fun to snatch and work out with him. But the over-unders, dude. I used to do over-unders a lot before I came to Roy at my previous gym. So to see it programmed here, I was like, oh man, I haven't seen an over-under in a long time. So it was fun to do that. I really enjoyed just doing movements that I did a long time ago. So that was fun.
I had the luxury of coaching that one this afternoon, and it was extremely fun to watch people brand new to functional fitness try the over under. They're like, what is this? But how am I supposed to do this? Like, am I on all fours? And like, and like, Summer was in the class, and she's shorter and flexible, so she was able to flick her leg underneath the band and then just kind of squat, like just kind of do this moving side squat and just move under without even coming on the ground. I was like, wow, that's better than I can do. No, Casey's mobility is terrible, but yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It was
awesome week.
It was a good time. Let's get into the podcast you guys have been waiting for.
All right, friends, before this interview starts off, I don't want you stopping in the middle of it, because it's a great one coming on up. I want you to smash that like button, subscribe, give us that 5-star rating, share this with your friends, and then come on back to the podcast. Listen to this interview. You're really going to love it. You're going to get to know DB a little bit better, and enjoy, friends.
DB, Detective Beatty, Coach Alexa, welcome to the show. Before we get started, can you give us just a little intro on how you found fitness, how you got into fitness, and then how you came to Roy RC Fit?
Yes. So I never really played a lot of sports in high school. I did like cross country and track. I'm the least coordinated person at the gym. If you throw something at me, I'll just watch it land on the floor next to me. So not really sports, but I grew up on a farm, and so like I valued hard work and challenging my body.
You said on a farm, like where at?
In Honeyville.
Okay.
In northern Utah.
Up north,
okay.
Yeah.
Yep, up north. And then in college, I was still like, I've always cared about my fitness, but never really done anything. Well, so like track and cross country in high school. And then in college, I would like run. I ran a lot. Like I was a runner. I did half marathons and random races. I just ran. And then I randomly decided that I wanted to be a cop. But I knew there were physical qualifications and that I was not ready for that. At the time when I made the decision, I could not do what we would call an RX push-up, which you have to do multiple of those to be a cop.
So, and then were you chest all the way to the ground?
Yeah. What was the standard?
All the way up? Yeah. What's the standard?
Elbows have to be parallel. You don't have to like chest to the floor, but you have to break that plane. Does that make sense?
Wait, so you said your
chest doesn't have to hit the floor all the way, but you have to like come to a 90-degree angle with your
okay. Wait, how many did you have to do?
I think it was like 21 or 24. Those two numbers are in my mind.
I think it's 21 in a certain time span or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a time span for the push-ups or if it's just you can't break. Like you can rest at the top, but you can't drop your knees or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
The sit-ups were within a minute, but like I wasn't worried about that. I wasn't worried about the running. It was literally just the push-ups.
Push-ups. Okay. Oh, wait, was it 21 across the board, like men and women, or
Mhm.
was there? Okay.
Yeah.
And so, like, did you just have like did you try to attempt it like at home and just see how many you could do and be like, man, I'm not ready yet, or like, how did you come to
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, like I tried doing push-up programs, like the 100 push-up challenge thing where it's supposed to build you up, and that was worthless. I'd get to like 10 and I'm like 10 is my limit. There's no matter how many days in a row I do 10 push-ups, I'm not getting beyond that. So that didn't work for me. And then I kind of got to the point where I was like, okay, it's probably important to be like strong in other ways, not just do push-ups to be a cop. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
so then I started going to Vasa, and that was gross. So
Why? Can you elaborate on that? Like, what was just because I don't know, what was it like?
um I actually like so it was good to like start working out. So I was just doing free weights, and I think I found a program on bodybuilding.com.
Yeah, I was
Like
about to
it was
say.
a good thing to like learn and start to kind of get into this world and figure things
Yeah.
out. I'm a researcher, so like I knew I was doing
Okay.
things right, but it was gross. People talked to me that I did not want to talk to me.
Gym bros.
Okay, so that's kind of where I was going. I'm assuming like you were, you went by yourself. You're kind of in there to just get in, get out, and then
Yes.
at like Vasa and Golds, it's very clicky. And I always noticed that if there was like like a pretty girl kind of by herself, or even with her friends, they would come by. You would have like certain cliques of guys just like trying to talk to them, or going out of their way. So I think I get what you're saying when you said gross, or at least that's what I was assuming, something
Yeah,
like that.
like one time this guy came up to me and he's like, "Hey, I've been watching you. You've been making really good gains." First of all,
Wow.
I appreciate the compliment, but I don't appreciate
Nice.
that you've been watching me. Like, I don't even know how to respond to this interaction. Like my social cue, I just don't know. Please don't
You're
talk
like
to me.
you were like,
It
what is
sounds
the
like it.
duration? I
That's
don't know.
exactly what I
Like,
was thinking. That he would
what
have to.
duration did you see me on day one? Was
Yeah,
it
Yeah.
month
yeah,
one? Where was this at?
That's
Yeah,
what
so I
gain
that's
just
specifically was I getting? You know what the? That's weird.
yeah, and I was just getting bored with it. So I started like I don't even know where I first heard of CrossFit, if it was like I saw a gym or something, but I actually started at Salt Lake City downtown for a few months, and they were super hardcore.
it's true.
Like the programming was awesome. The athletes were absolutely amazing. But from where I was, I looked at everyone else that was there and was like, "Oh man, this is way out of my comfort zone." And I was going by myself. I didn't know
Mm,
anyone there. I didn't have a friend
mm.
who was coming with me. Um,
Can you wait, sorry, could you kind of talk on that? Is how like is it intimidating going like by yourself with no friends and just coming into a new environment?
um, yes and no. I've always kind of been a person that like if I don't have a friend who wants to do something with me, I'm okay, I'm just going to go do it by myself. So,
Nice, nice.
I'm used to putting myself in those situations, but I'm also super introverted. I have a hard time like being the person to talk first. I'm
Ah,
fine. I was
okay.
like I'd go to the gym, I wouldn't really talk to anyone, and that was cool by me. But then I was just looking around at like these amazing athletes that were at Salt Lake City downtown, and I was just like they would try to reach out to me and I was just intimidated. Like not intimidated in a bad way, just
It was
man.
a lot. I mean, I can understand, right? It was probably were you at the just like Salt Lake City CrossFit?
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
that's like underneath the overpass. It looks super
Yeah.
ghetto when you first drive to it, but
Yeah.
it's
So like,
awesome.
they had games level
Oh yeah,
athletes
yeah,
in
yeah.
Yeah,
there and you can it's gotta be intimidating a little bit,
yeah,
but it's like good on you for stepping in there. I know that takes a lot of courage, most definitely by yourself into an area like that and then sticking with it.
yeah. So I switched. I did not stick with Salt Lake.
Oh, okay.
I found another one that is where I stuck for 3 years.
Okay.
And that was just kind of like everyone talks about you find your fit. And
Where was that?
Posse. It was
Oh,
in
okay.
Red Heights, but they've closed, unfortunately. Um, like right after I left, so it actually made leaving a little easier because they
Oh
were
yeah, there you
gone.
go.
Yeah,
The
I feel bad
Band-Aid
for
got
you.
torn off
I'll tell
completely.
you what, it's talking from experience about like leaving a gym. It is very hard leaving a gym because like you said, you find your fit, you find your community,
Yeah,
and that is the biggest thing. But
yeah,
sorry, continue.
yeah. So I just was there for about 3 years and then decided to move because James wanted me to move in with him, and they
Ooh.
don't make it weird.
Oh, okay. I'm not.
This
I'm just
guy,
saying.
this guy over here.
Honestly, it is weird because I'm weird, and I was like, "No, I can't leave my gym." Like, that was the
No,
only
that's a legitimate
thing.
thought. Yes,
There
I know
was
it.
nothing else. Who cares that it was an hour away from my job and I was gonna have this terrible commute and that I was, like, terrified about moving in together? No, none of that. I just did not wanna leave my gym.
I totally understand that feeling. Totally get it.
It was rough, but, I had seen Roy every time we'd, like, go to the grocery store and stuff, just when I'd be at his house, and so I knew it was something nearby and just walked in, and the rest is history.
Yeah, there was Dan made a video, our producer, of kind of coaches, like a bit like half the coaching staff. And we'll link that in the description of the video and the comments. But in the video there, you told a pretty funny story that I don't personally remember.
Of course you don't.
But your first workout at RC Fit was an assault bike workout. And apparently you
Yes.
came in and you saw just the assault bikes and you're like, what are these? So
Yep.
can you walk us through that experience of your first time at RC Fit?
Was your first
I
time with me?
No, it was well, so the first person I met was Casey.
Okay.
And then so in that interview with Dan, I think I kinda, like, threw him under the bus, which is not what I meant
No,
to do
no.
at
Whatever.
all.
Say
For the
it.
record, he wasn't coaching. He was, like, I'm
I
pretty
was
sure
an
he was
athlete.
working out, so he kind of blew me off, like, "Don't talk to me.
This
I'm in the middle
guy.
of my workout."
This guy.
But then I think Amy was the one who coached me the very first workout. So
Mhm.
my old gym, we had assault bikes, but there was like 2 of them against the wall in the corner that people would just like sit on while they scrolled through their phone before or
Mm.
after the workout. We never programmed them in workouts.
Oh,
I
really?
No, because we only had
Oh,
2.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we had big classes, so there was no way that they never programmed them. Um, I had seen people be devastated on it, and I had never wanted to participate in that. So I had no idea like what actually that entailed. Um, so the first day that I walked in, the bikes were like lined up right next to the door. So I walked in and people were biking hard,
Okay.
and I was like, "What in the world? Like, there is a reason my old gym did not do this." And then I just like looked around for who most looked like a coach, and Casey was just standing there. So I was like, "Are you a coach?" And he said, "Yeah," and just told me to like stand in the corner. Okay.
Jeez, Casey.
You
What
must
a
have caught, like, I can't even remember what this was, but he must have caught me like just mid workout or
Yeah. Oh
something.
yeah.
I was
Like,
probably
I
like,
think that it
what a
wasn't.
great first impression.
I was like, he seemed nice. And he didn't say like go stand in the corner in a rude way. It was just like,
I'll
we're
get with you
working
in a
out, we'll
minute.
get done in a minute.
Well,
And then he introduced me when everything was over, so it was fine. But then when my class started, I'm positive it was Amy because I told her I was like, I have never done a workout with this. Like, what am I shooting for? Like when I get on a rower, I know like what numbers I should be in. Um, and she just told me to go ham, and I looked at her and I was like, don't
all
think
right.
that's right.
Sure,
Don't
whatever.
think that's right, but I don't know what else to do. So basically, I just like went hard as hell and died, died, and I have hated it ever since that day.
Sounds like you had the same response that all of us had on our first experiences with the
Yeah.
bike.
It's true.
Dude,
It's true.
Yeah,
and
unfortunately,
nobody
it
likes
hasn't
it.
changed. It's stayed the same.
I don't think it does. I don't think it ever
What are you
does.
talking about? It's
I was
not.
gonna say Casey's tried to tell me you can learn to like it.
You can learn to like the bike. You just have to spend a lot of time with the bike, and once you do, it's like, it's a love-hate relationship, but then there is love inside
No.
the hate.
When we were
Okay.
quarantined, I brought the bike home and I spent a lot
Oh,
of time with the bike. It didn't
Yeah,
get better.
you took
I
the
saw that.
bike.
I
No
saw that
way.
at the you'd work out in your driveway, right?
Yes.
You guys would have a nice workout in the driveway, then you get a box and everything. That's pretty awesome. I mean, talk about quarantine. Let's just go there. What was March like? I mean, your work probably didn't change much, but
No, it
then
did.
oh, it did?
It did,
Okay,
yeah.
so how did COVID affect, what you were doing? Because at this time, you're off the streets, right? You're a
Yeah,
detective.
I'm a detective.
Okay,
Mhm,
you're a detective at this point, and
mhm.
so and we can go into the history of police officer Alexa here in a minute. But like, so what did that do? What did COVID do for work? And then how did it change your lifestyle working out, trying to find that time of day, right,
Mhm.
for to center yourself mindset wise?
Yeah. Ugh, COVID was I feel like it sucked for me just as much as it did for everyone else. Probably not even as bad, except that I'm a very like type A. I like my schedule and routine. I'm a
Routine.
typical 5 a.m.er.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't work out at 5 a.m. because James would get mad because the garage is right below our bedroom.
Oh,
So he could hear like
barbell
anything that
clanking.
was going on. Yeah. Um, and then with work, because I'm a detective and my chief is terrified of COVID,
Oh my goodness.
with good reason. Like she doesn't want a bunch of us to get it and then lose half of her department. Like
Yeah,
It's fair.
exactly.
Yeah.
I understand. But she was like, if you can avoid being at the office, you need to stay home. So
Uh,
I do a lot of interviews. So I could do a lot of interviews on the phone, obviously, unless it was like a suspect. So I was still going in, but um not often, and
yeah,
my
like
just my routine had changed. So I tried everything. I tried working out like in the late morning, in the middle of my workday to try to break up the monotony of being home, in
Mm.
the evenings, which I am not an evening worker outer. Not.
not a PMer.
Nope. Nope.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You started out as a
I
PMer.
did, but only because it worked with my schedule at the time. That's the only reason I've never chose to work out at night. Um, and I don't even think I found a routine like during that you're all trapped in your house time.
Oh yeah.
I just played with everything, and then finally we were allowed back in the gym, and has been my saving grace. Like even though work has stayed, I'm still mostly working from home. I can go into the office, but she prefers us not to still if we don't have to.
Hmm.
Um, but just having that ability to go to the gym at 5 and see the same people and just start my day that way, oh my gosh, it's helped so much.
That's probably a good way to start the day. Like just some familiarity, right?
Yeah.
After being home for so long or whatever when we had to shut down. I want to circle back to the gym. Your first workout at Roy was a bike workout, and it was devastating. But you said you never looked back. I want to ask you two questions. Coaching, you've become a coach. Like I said, you started off as a PM. I remember when you came in PM a couple of times, and then I started working Spartan for a little bit, so I was gone for a lot. But I remember coming back, and then you were coaching all of a sudden. So I didn't even know what got you. So I guess my first question is, what got you into coaching? And the second question is, we were talking about community earlier. You said 5 a.m., or it seems like that's your home. Can you just tell us a little bit about the 5 a.m. class and just what it is about the 5 a.m. class that keeps you coming back?
Yeah. So for coaching, I didn't even like I don't want to say I didn't want to be a coach, but that's not why I went to get my L1. I knew Justin did it, and Justin and I kind of had a connection because obviously he's in law enforcement, and then my he worked for Brigham City and knew all of my family and James' family. So he's like an old
Mm.
family friend that I had never
Okay,
actually
I didn't know
met.
that.
He just knew all my family.
Oh, nice.
So I had talked to him about it, and honestly, I was just interested in um like bettering myself as an athlete. And like I said earlier, I like the research part. I like knowing things about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. So I
Mhm.
just approached Kevin and asked him for information on how to get there, like what the process was.
Oh, okay,
And he just asked, "Do you want to coach?" Like, that
just like
sounds
that, just like
terrifying,
that.
but yes. Like, also, I love this community and these people, and if I can give back in any way,
Okay,
that motivates a lot of what I do. So let's go for it. So that's how I got into that. And
what classes are you currently coaching right now?
right now, I'm coaching Friday morning at 9, and then every other Saturday.
Really? Oh, okay.
Me and Tiff are
Nice.
switching Saturdays.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
So I like was baptized by fire. I started with the 9 a.m. mom class,
And
and
it was a big mom class at that
it was
time.
a big one then. That was like the
Got moms,
20
got
moms and
kids.
40 kids
Oh
class.
man.
They're
Yeah,
like
that was
wrangling them in boxes, like keeping them in the corner.
gosh, yelling. I
Yeah.
told them I yell at you more than I've ever yelled at any criminal in my life, and I'm way more scared of you guys. And they were a lot, but I like fell in love with them. I That's my favorite class. I look forward to Friday morning. That's like the highlight of my week. So it's good. I love
That's
my 9 a.m.
that's
mom.
awesome. That's actually good to hear because I mean, I guess there's three of us here, three coaches here, right? And yeah, like you were saying, there's certain there's days where I'm like, oh, I'm coaching today. Like I
Mhm.
love my class, I guess you could say, because that's it's your class that you normally see. You see the same people kind of weekly. So yeah, it's nice having those days like, oh, I get to coach my class or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And then for the 5 a.m.ers,
yeah.
uh, so I think I just switched because I was able to move my schedule around a little bit. And like I said, I've always preferred working out in the morning. So that was primarily the reason that I switched. I didn't know anyone. I had worked out with Tiffany a couple times, like on Saturdays, but other than her, I don't really remember knowing anybody when I went. And they are just super freaking awesome. It's
They are.
worth waking up every morning at 5 o'clock to get to the gym when it's freezing cold outside. And I am telling you, especially lately, like you're supposed to be excited about the gym with the new year. Not super excited about it the last little bit. Like this morning, I woke up and laid there for 5 minutes, telling myself to just go back to sleep. And I was like, no, Christina's going to text me. And then when I
Oh,
show
there you
up,
go.
Jackie's going to say
Yeah.
she hasn't seen me all week. Like I can't not
Accountability.
show up.
A lot of accountability with the
Yes.
5 a.m. crew.
A lot, a lot.
You guys have a good I mean, you guys have like your own your what is it, group chat, right? Like on Facebook or whatever?
Yeah.
Or I
It's
don't.
kinda died down. That was like a COVID thing.
Oh,
We
okay.
get on there every once in a while, but, and I don't really use Facebook anymore lately, but
Yeah, same. But no, that's awesome. I love that you found that home, and like it's that class is usually always full, right? And you like I
yes.
said, you see the same people time in and time out. But let's kind of transition away from well, not necessarily away from the gym, but keep it fitness related. Have you noticed your fitness? Like, how does that translate into your line of work?
Yeah, so, the obvious answer to that, early on in my career when I was in patrol, I, did CrossFit and then I also trained jujitsu,
Oh, awesome.
not, like, impressively enough, but enough that if I got in a fight, like, I would
You
Right.
know how to
be
handle
able to handle
yourself.
myself, yeah.
Cool. That's
Mhm.
awesome.
And so that's kind of what like kept me going to the gym those first 2 years that I was on patrol was just staying physically fit. So if I was in a fight or a foot chase, that I could hold my own. And then when I switched to detectives, I gained like the detective 15, kind of like everybody does. That's a thing if you weren't aware.
Okay.
And not that I stopped working out, I was just adjusting my lifestyle. But then with I do special victims investigations. So it's known to be a burnout position, and I've been
Mm,
there 3 years now. And I can honestly say I would not like to think about where I would be mentally if I did not keep going to the gym. Like
Mm.
ooh,
before it was
okay.
for the physical, and now it's 100% mental and just
Like a
keeping
Kind of
good,
just
myself.
de-stress a little bit, right?
yeah.
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 And it's a good reset, right? If you're going at 5 a.m., I kind of had that same thing when I was at 5 a.m. It was a good day it was a good way to start the day.
Mhm.
And then you go into the day kind of with a fresh mindset, you're energetic, you almost feel sharper, right? It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's your cup of coffee before your cup of coffee, if
Mhm.
that's your partake, right? And at that time I wasn't even really drinking coffee, but it's like I found that as like that's a staple in your life when you need it, and that's one thing the
Yeah.
gym is great for.
Yeah. For sure. Like the days that I do talk myself into sleeping in and don't go to the gym, I feel terrible all day. groggy. Like it's just,
You
I
dread
regret it
it, right?
instantly.
I bet
Yeah.
you hear it from the members too, right?
Yes. Yeah. And then I pay for it later. So it's never worth it.
Well, so what, let's talk about like what, laying there in bed in the morning, right? What's a workout that keeps you in bed longer? And what's a workout that makes you pop right out of bed? Like the second the alarm goes off, you're like, boom, I'm coming to the gym. What
Okay.
give me hate, love.
Bike.
Besides the bike. We know the
Like
bike.
that actually is a really good point. Because when you were saying love, I'm like, what do I love? So like, or I'll start with the hate. Hate.
Okay.
I actually just talked to my 9 a.m. class about this last week because we had the benchmark with the 30 snatches. I hate
Mhm.
snatches. I hated
Okay.
snatches since day one. I still hate them. It's one of those things that takes years and years and years to see any sort of progress. And I've told you
Yep.
I'm not coordinated, so it's even worse for me.
Coordination and
Um,
accuracy are key in the
yes,
snatch.
yes. And then, but the minute you hit a good snatch and you know you did it right, that's good. But
Oh yeah.
if it is snatches, and a lot of them, I'm just like, nah, I'll pass.
I'm doing
Or
cleans
a,
today, coach.
or a really long bike. A bike I could still get out of bed. At the snatches is worse. Like or
Okay.
love, I actually don't enjoy running, but if it's in a workout, I'm good at it. So I'm like, okay, fine. Anything with
You have
dubs,
a history of it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like a good clean.
Nice.
Are you more of like the clang and bang, like the heavy weights, you like just throwing those around, or would you prefer like the more like endurance type or gymnastics type? Like,
Yes.
so those are more your jam.
Like body weight stuff that's a little bit like that mid duration
Okay.
level. That's where I like
Like a 12-minute body weight workout with a run. So Helen, 400
Helen, that's
meter
exactly what
run,
I thought right
pull-ups,
there.
and kettlebell swings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Alexa crushes Helen. There we go.
Annie is my favorite workout of all time.
There it
So
is.
that's when
There
Nick
it
came
is.
to the gym. He and I always faced off on that one. So miss that
Nice. Nice.
Wait, Nick. Who's
guy.
Nick?
Nick came for a brief moment when it was after Kevin and I did our L2. He had just moved to the area from the East Coast.
Oh,
And
I
coach.
feel like
yeah,
I feel
he
like
coached
if
for a
you met
Oh,
minute.
Nick
Coach
one
Nick.
time,
Coach
you
Nick.
know who
Okay,
he is.
Coach Nick. Okay,
Yeah.
I was
He
thinking
coached for a
someone
bit, and then his wife had a baby,
else.
and
Baby.
then
Yeah.
just like life just kind of took him.
And he became a cop.
Oh, he
Oh
did
yeah,
become a
that's
cop.
Yeah,
right. I
like he
do
was
remember
going to the
that.
police academy. That was one of the big
Ah.
reasons he stopped coming. Was
Yeah.
and I know like that's
Gotta
a
be
legit
rough.
reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Alexa, a couple things before I guess we close this up. I want to. What's next for you in terms of? I guess it doesn't even have to be fitness related, but like, what goals do you have for you next few years?
Um, that's a loaded question.
Let's keep it specific. Let's keep it gym related. Is there
Okay.
like a certain movement you're trying to get, or a certain weight you're trying to hit on something?
Yeah, so I'm always working on my squat form.
Okay. What's
And
wrong, or what is it that you're working on specifically?
what's wrong?
I haven't
Thank you.
seen
You
you
want
in
to
a
tell him
while.
what's not wrong with my squat? Should we just try that?
Let's just tell the things that are not.
No, that's just always an act. Like Kevin is always telling me that it's getting better a little bit each day.
That's good.
This year 2020, I had a goal of getting my first bar muscle up, which I hit. And so I think this year I just
Congratulations.
want to work on
Nice.
that and just being able to get a little bit more of those in a row.
Of the
Very
bar
good.
muscle ups.
Stringing them bar muscle ups together. Nice.
Yep. I didn't make too many crazy plans for 2021 after how 2020 went.
Yeah, I
We
mean, I
won't
guess
put ourselves up for disappointment.
it's hard to, because there's so much unknown. So, but yeah. So, you want to improve more on the muscle ups, right?
Yep.
Have you put that into motion? Like, have you set yourself any sort of like, all right, and in order to do that, I'm going to do, I don't know, strict pull-ups twice a week or something like that?
Yeah. So, in order to get just my first pull up, I worked on strict pull up strength a lot. And then right now it's just like a matter of forcing myself to do the hardest variation when they're in workouts that I
Okay.
can.
Nice.
So like
Okay.
rather than just doing chest to bar, doing maybe like the smallest band and doing less reps, but
Okay.
just
Yeah.
working on that.
Modifying for
Yeah.
strength instead
Yeah.
of instead of reps.
Right.
Smart. Very smart.
That's
Yep.
cool.
That's where we're at,
I like
man.
that. I mean, I feel like there's certain things that I'll look at a workout, and there's times where I'll be like, well, I kind of want to improve on this. So let's say it's deadlifts. I don't know. And then there's box jumps. I'll maybe scale the box jumps a little bit because I want to, work on the deadlifts a little bit
Yeah.
more. So yeah, I think it's cool and important. As an athlete, after some time, you start to realize, what's important to you or what you want to work on, and you can, modify it however you want.
Right.
Alexa, is there any last things that you want to tell the people, tell the viewers, tell the members, tell the 5 a.m.ers, any socials or anything that you want to get out before we close this up?
I don't do social. I already said that.
Okay.
I don't even know. That response made me start to sweat. Um, thank you to all the 5 a.m.ers for keeping me coming to the gym every morning. And honestly, if I said thank you to anyone or like just was thankful for anyone at the gym, I'm so grateful for the people that I coach and being patient with me and having grace while I learn how to coach and put into words telling people what to do. Like they're so patient with me and they just make it fun
That's
and
good.
make me feel like I'm not doing a terrible job every day. So I just love everyone here. You're all my family and hopefully I'm around for a really long time. So thanks for having me, guys.
So that concludes our interview, our podcast with DB Alexa, Coach Alexa. And last time, guys, you guys can catch her at 9 a.m. on Fridays and every other Saturday. Please go and see her. She's holding me accountable. I need to go see her. All right. Casey, let's what can our members prepare for next week before we sign off?
All I gotta say is you better go show up here in the next month. I'll give you a month.
Okay.
We'll check back in on the pod. We'll give you 4 weeks, and then we'll have a report out on Alexa's coaching and or ability to show up.
Okay. Now I'm definitely held accountable.
All right. But hey, looking forward to next week, starting Monday the 25th and moving through Saturday the 30th, the end of January, ending month 1 of 2021, right? If you've set your own personal goals, right, this is where you kind of got to continue to hone in, really understand, check yourself.
Yeah.
It's okay. If you've fallen off a little bit, it's all right. We're here.
Yeah.
Right? RC Fit's here. We're here for the long haul. Next week, we got a ton of movements, right? We got some rowing, we got pressing, we got deadlifts. I think we got a couple wall balls in there. I'm excited for the just well-rounded week of programming we have coming up. It looks like from first glance, you're able to come in almost, every single day if you want to. I'm a fan of doing 3 workouts on, 1 day off, 3 on. And my 3 on when it comes to the weekend is it involves a lot more skiing this time of year than it does working out.
That's important.
But I think this week is going to be really good. If you have friends that you want to bring into the gym, this week will be really good for them to get a little bit of hint of functional fitness. So I'm excited for this week coming up. There's a lot of places for people to modify workouts and, still hit a stimulus that we're looking for. So awesome week coming up. Can't wait to see everybody coming into the gym. Please, 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 so we can highlight you on the pod, record on the whiteboard.
Yes.
So we can call you out.
Yes. Keep
for
putting
whatever
those
you're
scores
doing.
in.
Put the scores in, right? And last but not least, give us a subscribe, like, follow us, right? Hit that 5-star rating. Find RC Fit Utah on the Instagram page. Find your boy Steven and I on the IGs. We're around, right? We're also on other social medias, but we're not going to get into that right now. But what I want everyone to do out there is continue to show up, continue to work hard, and stay healthy, my friends.
And on that note, Coach Steven, Coach Casey, signing off.
Peace.